The Pattaya 105 Golf Show. All the latest updates and up-to-the-minute golf news with Dave D and Ian.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to 105 and welcome to the Golf Show. Down here with Ian in the studio again. Welcome back, sir.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
How are you? And, of course, we have a special guest in today, Mr. Darrell James. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Dave.
It's okay. Ian, of course, it's been a bit of an exciting week, hasn't it?
It's been a really great week, actually. We've got a new world number one. Luke Donald not playing, so Rory Mcilroy winning down there in Florida, the first tournament of the Florida Swing at Palm Beach Gardens, the $5.7 million Honda Classic.
Only?
Well, actually, this week's $8.5 million, so it is, yeah, anyway. But, no, absolutely great drama. McIlroy winning by 2 shots ahead of a charging Tiger Woods. McIlroy, as a result, becomes the 16th world number one since they began the rankings. And actually, he's the second youngest world number one after...
Mr. Woods?
You've guessed it, Tiger Woods.
What was up with Mr. Woods? What's he doing? I mean, you know, you're saying that McIlroy's sort of getting in there and doing the business. What's happening to Tiger? I mean, what happened?
Well, he came at the end with an absolutely storming 62, which was a really fabulous round. Not actually the best round. There was another guy had a 61, but nonetheless absolutely superb golf from Tiger. 2 eagles, one at the 18th, magnificent drive, 320 yards, 6 iron, I believe, or possibly a 5 iron. Over the green, over the water, and put it to 8 feet.
Wow! But of course, what we got to sort of point out as well, Ian, is Tiger was playing there for the first time.
First time as a professional. That's absolutely right. And he had a great field there because you had a lot of the Europeans over, and of course the Americans there on home ground down there in Arizona. So you had Westwood, McIlroy, Darren Clark, Ian Poulter, Wilson, Appleby, Ernie Els, Schwartzel, and then the Americans, Stuart Sink, Justin Leonard, David Duval, Jim Furyk, and the veteran, Mark Calcavecchio, which is nice. Talking
about Tiger, Darrell, I mean, just to bring you in on the conversation, I mean, what's your sort of uptake on Tiger Woods? You know, I mean, how do you see him as a golfer? I mean, what's your opinion of him?
Well, you know, the thing from my background, not being a golfer, you understand, okay, from my background of psychology and hypnosis and sports psychology, the thing about Tiger is that it's the closest thing I've ever come to a robot. You know, he may as well have a switch on the back of his neck, but because of recent events, I think that's got to him a little bit.
There's no doubt it has. It's affected his playing.
It's all about the pressure of his day-to-day life and things that are going on. So that is the thing that he has to overcome.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And also putting. Which,
I'd say, like, you know, it's never gone away from him. It's just the circumstances around him that have changed and changed him for now.
I think so.
We have to put it for now. And, of course, round one, of course, we had Westwood and Tiger sort of playing together, weren't they?
They were. And Tiger off to a poor start with a 1 over. It was a par 70 on that course, so he went around in 71. The day 2 started badly. So looking, in fact, at one stage in danger of missing the cut. But then he had 3 birdies in a row on the final holes and actually came in, I think, with a 68. So he made the cut. But he would come to regret that poor round because tied for second place, 2 behind on the Sunday, on the closing round, with his best ever score on a PGA Tour event, with an 8 under 62. I mean, that's a phenomenal round.
Figure.
Well, if you think about it, 71 in the first round, 62 in the last, so that's 9 shots difference, and he lost by essentially 3 shots.
Wow.
And we were talking about statistics, and I mean, I think it's amazing. You got 2 eagles there, and then 4 birdies. But interestingly, they did stats over the weekend, McIlroy and Tiger, and apparently McIlroy had, over the weekend, the Saturday and the Sunday, he had 10 putts of 10 feet or less, and he made all those putts, and he won the tournament. Tiger, don't know how many putts he had under 10 feet, but he missed 3 putts under 10 feet. Again, a winning margin. 2 behind, 1 ahead, 3 putts. If he made all of those short putts, which you were saying about psychology and whatever, a few years back, he would have made all of those putts.
He would just flick that switch, turn into a robot, and drop the ball.
Exactly. So it is very interesting how all of those pressures, and I think the other point to make is it's not as much what Tiger thinks about himself, it's how scared or not the other players are.
Yeah,
Joe last week, if you remember, Dave, was saying, well, you know, Tiger shows up and they will look at him and say, well, that's it, we're playing for second place. Not anymore.
Not anymore, no.
But because now he's a humanoid. Now,
No, humanoid.
Yeah, he's no longer the robot
He's not a
mechanical
robot.
golfer that they feared. And
Well, once people see that he cracks or whatever you want to say, or he's just the same as everybody else, that's his weakness. And if they see that weakness, of course, the other guys are going to jump on it.
Well,
and
I think that's right.
We can beat him now.
But conversely, I mean, you weren't watching, but I watched it on TV, and I mean, great roars going up, and Tiger was playing, I think, 2 holes ahead of Rory, and you could see his face when this great roar came up, and it was in fact the eagle on the 18th.
Rory knew,
and he would look at the scoreboard and think, "Oh my God, I'm only actually he's only one behind, and I've still got 4 holes to play." Now, credit to Rory, having dropped a shot after that big roar and Tiger's eagle on the 18th, he actually got a birdie, so he put himself 2 shots back to 2 shots, back to 12 under. But again, interesting statistics. The bear trap, the 15th to the 17th there on that course, designed obviously by Jack Nicklaus, Golden Bear. McIlroy is the only player to win the tournament ever who's not dropped a shot on those holes throughout the tournament.
Really?
And they're reckoned by everybody to be the 3 pretty much toughest holes in golf, but he didn't drop a shot.
And he made, 16 out of 16 putts?
That's right.
Of under 10 feet. I mean, that's
How old is he?
phenomenal.
22 is he?
He's 22.
Wow.
23, I think. I think, funnily enough, he's 23. 23 on the same day as my father's birthday.
Oh, right.
4th of May. Yeah.
He's not doing bad though, is he?
Oh, it's phenomenal.
No, you see again. To go back for a second to the psychology of it, the pressure of it, it's a double-edged effect because, of course, as Tiger kind of bends to the pressures of his outside that's affecting his game, it instills confidence in the other players that are coming up against him. So at some point it meets in the middle and overlaps, and that's when the fun begins.
Well, and of course you've got a crop of really good players. Obviously led by McIlroy, but I mean Donald's there, Westwood's still there. You've got some superb golfers all kind of knocking on the door.
Absolutely.
But I bet they're all thinking, after a 62, he's on his way back.
Yeah, they will be worried. I mean, I think a lot will show itself in this next.
Well,
tournament.
Doral starting today. This
I think if
the Blue Monster
starting over in Florida, as we said,
Blue Monster course at Doral, just outside of Miami, starting today the weekend. Which we're going to talk about. But,
if Tiger can carry on where he left off.
Well, top 50 in the world in a field of 74. You've got the top 50 in the world, unless somebody drops out, of course. But they'll all be there. McIlroy will be wanting to cement his position.
Of course, yeah.
Luke Donald will be thinking, I'd like to get back, and if I win, I will get back. So it's all to play for.
The Pattaya 105 Golf Show. All the latest updates and up-to-the-minute golf news with Dave D and Ian.
Just taking us to 22 minutes past the hour, 4 o'clock. You're with us on 105. This is the Golf Show. In the studio, we have Dr. Golf himself. Mr. Ian is here in the studio, and with our special guest today, Darrell, who's in here just to sort of join in and give us a bit of information
I'm
as well.
just keeping the seat warm.
You're keeping the seat warm.
Keeping the score.
We're going to go straight in, guys, and have a little bit of a debate. We might as well talk about Tiger and McIlroy to get us sort of on the way. Let's put it that way. Ian, if you want to lead in.
Well, I think the key here is, is Tiger back? That great round of 62. What's he going to do at Doral this coming weekend? Can McIlroy consolidate his newly found #1 spot? You got Westwood playing very well. He put in the final round last week of 63, so I mean he's doing well. Luke Donald's there for the first time in a few weeks as the now #2, so he's looking to play well and perhaps regain that position, which he could do if he wins at Doral. Martin Keimer actually not looking too good at the moment, seeming to be losing his form. But all really critical putting in the short game. We talked to Joe Mooneyham last week from Pattaya Sports Club, and he was absolutely clear.
Adamant and clear.
Oh, he was
about the
putting
short game.
That's what makes or breaks the champion.
All played in the last X amount of yards of a game.
Well, that's where you produce.
So short game golf.
Short game golf.
Short game golf.
And I mean, Darrell will tell us a little bit about what he's been working on. So, I mean, you've sort of been working on an idea for a while, haven't you?
My cousin, a PGA pro and qualified teacher of golf, and myself has been working on a game, a short game of golf within 100 yards, leveling the playing field for men, women, and all different kinds of people that kind of fall down when you put a driver in the hand, if you follow me. We concentrate on the everything within 100 yards based on a par 3. We force you to do the pitch, the chip, the sand, and
you
the
were
putt.
saying bunker shots, which of course a lot of people really hate.
Yeah, but there's nowhere to hide in this, and it's about pressure.
Right.
It's about the pressure of the game, the pressure of the shot, and keeping that pressure constant.
So as a sort of overview, how does it work? I roll up and say, okay, we're going to play how many holes? We're playing 18 or
You'd play 9. You'd play 9 holes.
Play 9.
Yeah,
okay.
you can play 18, but we base it on 9 holes.
Okay,
if
and
you
so
know.
what's the format? Talk me through hole by hole, or a sort of a sample, if you like, of holes as to what I do when I'm there with my pitching wedge.
Well, what you do is
I'm a putter.
Yeah. You'd start off obviously within 100 yards,
right,
on a pitch. Okay. You would create a score for that result. Now, obviously, when you play golf, the idea is you put it in that little hole in the middle of the green.
Right.
Okay, that's your target.
Yep.
So you'll do that, and you will be awarded on your scorecard an amount of points depending on whether you hole it or the closer you get to the hole.
Oh, okay. So it's not like there's a par 3 or par 2 or par whatever. So, and who assesses that? Is there like within? Well, say I'm chipping from 80 yards and I put it to 20 feet.
Okay.
I get a point, perhaps.
Correct.
Within 15 feet, more points, 10 feet, 5 feet. So it's graduated.
That's
like
right.
that.
Well, it's based on a par 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So what we're saying is that you're there for, your 100 yards.
You've got 3 shots to play.
You've got 3 shots to play
to get par.
So you should be getting on, up and down.
Right.
Right. So if you hole it from 100 yards, that represents a hole in one. That's
Right.
4 points.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. You get it within 6 feet.
Yeah.
You'd get 3 points. Within 12 feet, you get 2 points.
Yeah.
And anywhere else on the green, you get 1 point.
Okay, so you get a point per shot, basically. So
Potentially, yes.
okay, or an amount of points. I'm sorry, per shot.
Yes.
So say I put it to 12 feet, I get 2 points.
Correct.
And then I make the 12-foot putt.
No.
No.
You go down like you do in golf. You'll mark your ball.
Right.
You'll pick your ball up.
Yeah.
Now, you see, this is where I try and simplify it, but we have different versions. We have a professional game, we have an intermediate game, and we have a game for absolute beginners.
Right, well, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yes.
So no matter where you come from, you can play this game.
Right.
And understand it and move on. So in a professional game, you would get 1 shot in your pitch.
Yes.
Okay. If you don't make the green, you overrun it, you undershoot it.
Yeah.
That will become your next reality shot for your chip.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So you would score nothing.
Yes.
For your target.
For that shot.
For that shot.
But then I'd have the next one, which creates a new score.
That's correct.
Okay.
Right. That was from your ability.
Yes.
Okay. And always under pressure to make a score. So then you'll chip. You get 3 points for holding it. Okay. 2 points within a certain thing.
Yes.
And 1 point anywhere else on the green.
I see. Okay.
And then we force you to play from the bunker, from
the
sand.
bunker. Well, that's
now,
great.
If at
As I
any
say,
point,
people usually hate that.
yeah, of course. But if at any point you end up in there in the sand, that will become your reality.
Oh, well, that's it. So what you're saying is that if, like some miracle happens and I never go in a bunker,
Yeah.
I'm never actually forced to start from a bunker and make a bunker shot.
Well, what I'm saying is that if from any of your previous shots your ball ends up in a bunker.
Yeah, and I'm asking, what if it doesn't?
If it doesn't, we have because the way when a golfer plays in the end, nobody plays to play in a bunker.
Sure.
Okay, it's always a matter of a bad shot or bad luck. The elements have caught you out. So because it's a matter of luck, it's a matter of luck where the ball ends up within the bunker.
Yes.
Now, fortunately, the bunker, you can separate the bunker into 3 different areas. You can the difficult, the easy.
Yeah. Buried lies, all of this.
Of course, yeah.
The old
or
fried egg.
close to the lip, in the middle, or near the back of the bunker.
Okay.
So we have a reason, depending on the stroke index that you're playing from,
Right.
to place that ball.
Right.
In fact, I could let you put the ball down anywhere you want, and take your shot from there.
Okay.
You'll be scored. You get 3 points if you hold it from the sand.
Yeah.
You get 2 points.
So it's 3-2-1
Yeah.
basically.
Now what you end up with is you from your pitch, your chip, and your sand, you've had 3 balls hit the green.
Yes.
Okay, and you've had from your first one marker.
Yes.
If your next ball from your next element stops further away from the hole,
Yes.
you simply pick up your marker
And you go
remark
back.
it.
Okay.
And your putting element is from obviously your own skill level.
Yes.
The furthest from the hole, the most difficult
Yes.
shot. You get 3 points for 1 putt, 2 points for a 2 putt, and 1 point for a 3 putt.
Right.
If you don't do that, because it's Stapleford
Yes.
point system, you
Okay.
pick the ball up and move on.
Okay.
So there's the 4 elements to one hole, comprising all of the elements of a short game.
Well, I think that's fascinating because there's quite a lot. It's not unduly complicated,
No.
but it is quite complicated. I think you would
sounds
need
to explain it. You
well,
need to play
I
the
think
game,
if you're
that's the
actually
thing.
there playing, that's
I
right,
think
and then
absolutely.
you sort of soon pick it up and think, oh yes, I see.
Absolutely.
what
I
you
think it
mean.
was
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of once. I mean, just going as a non-golfer. I mean, speaking as a non-golfer, if I played it and I was playing the shots that Darrell said, somewhere along the line, I'm going to be improving all the time. Playing 3 different shots all the time. I'm thinking, well, I'm in the bunker. Last time I did it, and all the time you're trying to better yourself. If that's what
Well,
you
there's
want to
nowhere
say.
to hide, Dave.
Yeah, I understand, Darrell. And I mean, like Joe said, that a lot of it is played from 100 yards or less on a
Certainly.
golf course.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so that's what he's saying. You're playing a game of golf from 100 yards away from the hole, and basically he's sort of giving you 3 shots, 3 ways to get there by getting the most less points.
I mean,
it's-
the top players and the low handicap players, amateur players, top players in the world, and amateurs will think, now I like a 56 or a 58 or whatever 60-degree wedge. I know I can hit that between 75 and 100 yards. So you will do your second shot, you'll drive and then you'll play your second shot to try and leave yourself that amount of yards that's your favourite scoring shot into the hole,
Right.
to give yourself obviously the best chance of what would be a birdie. Or maybe an eagle, but usually a birdie. So that's what you're looking to do.
Right.
So that's where this short game golf is very interesting, because if you're putting the ball, you're placing the ball on the fairway at your optimum distance for the particular club that you're going to hit, then a competent golfer should be on the green pretty much every time. So that's very interesting.
Well, that's
we
what he
talk
said.
about
He's got,
stats.
I mean, just to stop you there. I mean, like he said, he's got like 3 different games. You've got a beginner, you've got sort of a guy, a novice, and then you've got a professional game. So I would imagine it's different for those 3 games for the people that are playing.
Well, it's presumably getting tougher as you
Well,
go up
the thing about
scale.
it is this game is 70% of golf. 70% of the statistics of golf happen within 100 yards.
Yes.
Working from the green, obviously 1 up, 1 down on a par 4, that's 50%.
Sure.
So on an 18-hole golf course, when you play around, 50% of your game has come just from the green.
Well, I mean, I think that's absolutely right. And I mean, we talked about stats earlier, and they all say anything under 30 putts is pretty good,
Yep.
and
Yep.
the fewer the better.
Yep.
I mean, you're not going to 1 putt every hole, so there's 18. But between 18 and some, 2 putt will be 36 clearly. So anything better than 30 is good.
Well, by the time you finish scoring, when
And
you
your,
look at your
your
scorecard,
score, you're coming in at say something in the 80s or high 70s. So yeah, it's basically
We're going to come
getting
back-
on for half.
We're going to just take a break. We'll play some international news, play a song, and come back, and we'll just talk about the scorecarding. Yeah, is that okay, W? And we'll come back and just sort of go with the scorecarding, and then, of course, we're going to talk golf and what's happening around the world. But it's interesting. Yes, you enjoy that, Ian?
Excellent. That sounds fun. Then we could talk about Blue Monsters.
The Pattaya 105 Golf Show. All the latest updates and up-to-the-minute golf news with Dave D and Ian.
Welcome back, guys. It's hot in the studio, but it's raining outside. Welcome to Pattaya, welcome to Thailand, and welcome to the Golf Show. Ian and Darrell in the studio. We're going to sort of get straight back into it, aren't we, Ian?
Yeah. Well, the old fag packet was out with the pen, so back of the fag packet, we worked that, and let's say your round's 80.
Yep.
Single figure hand, 8 handicap or whatever it is. We got to be reckoning 35% putting, about 20% driving. On the basis you got 14 holes where you're going to probably use a wood, taking out the 4 par 3s, 2 per 9. So you're going to be left with short game of around 20%, and then your longer irons about 25%. So somewhere between 55 and maybe 60% of your game is your putting and your short game. So back to you, Darrell, because that's where the short game, it is combined the largest element of your round.
It is, and not only that, of course, when anybody starts golf and they go for a professional lesson, nobody puts a driver in the hand.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, you start from your short game, probably your putting.
Yeah.
Because that develops the swing.
It's usually something like an 8 times.
Can I just put my hand up? That's,
Go on,
that's,
we're not on TV. Go on.
That's where I went wrong then.
Yeah, you put the driver. Well, you see,
I went for the big one first.
This is the thing about golf: is they go to a driving range and they hit a ball, and that's the pleasure. That's all they want to see is how far, how high, how hard they can hit the ball.
Sure, no,
true.
It's quite true.
It's true.
You know, short game has been, dare I say the word, boring for players to practice.
Well, I think not for the professionals, but I think there's another key point, and maybe Darrell, this is something you can comment on. I mean, most of the driving ranges, that's all you do.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, they'll perhaps have a putting green.
Yep.
It probably isn't in that great condition, although I have to say fairways is you know, that's a nice facility there, and they've I think they haven't got a bunker there actually. I don't think.
No, I don't think they have.
Well,
no.
they have on the side of
On
the
the
driving
side- on the
range,
side,
but,
yeah.
You know, you're going to be a
Mainly
bit nervous about that.
put it in
Somebody
put it in the
hooks one around the corner and takes your bloody head off.
That's pressure.
No, well, no, but that is, I want to get out of here as quickly as possible.
Of course,
I'm not taking my time. But no, seriously, there are very, very few short game practice facilities in and around the Pattaya area, other than perhaps at the golf courses themselves.
That's right. Yeah.
And certainly in my experience, very few of the golf courses let you just go there and practice your chipping and your putting unless you paid for a round of golf. Now, maybe you don't want to do that. You know, maybe you actually want to just go to chip and putt.
Well, this is the idea behind the game. The scorecard, in conjunction with the course design and the 100 yards, forces you to play all the elements, forces you to develop a swing.
Let me be clear, though. What you're saying is you would more or less you would go to an already existing golf course, and you would only use the fairways from 100 yards in, and the bunkers and the greens. How does that work?
I think
or does it have to be custom built?
Ideally, if you want to get the perfect stats on your short game, ideally what you would do is, while you was playing in an 18-hole game, as soon as you got within 100 yards, you would simply use the scorecard to record how you perform.
Okay, this is sort of a teaching aid, really.
It is a teaching aid. That's exactly what it is in this looking at it from this point of view.
Okay, that does make sense. I mean, some of the caddies at the better courses will sort of score you like 2 and 1 or 2 and 2 or whatever, i.e. the amount of putts you've taken.
Listening to Darrell, I mean, let me get this right, and Darrell could probably tell me if I'm right or wrong. So your scorecard that you've got, that basically for your game, basically takes effect from 100 yards.
Absolutely, yeah.
And from that, do you get anything from the scorecard? Do you end up with an Andy? How does it work?
By the time you've finished your game and you've filled in the statistics, when you look at each of the 4 columns, of obviously covering pitch, chip, sand,
and this is done on Stapleford, is that
it's
right?
all done based on Stapleford points system. Yeah.
Okay.
When you look at the end of your column, you can see exactly how you performed on each element. It exposes your strengths and weaknesses and what you have to work on within your game.
Where you go and practice.
So
but this comes back to the point of, where do you do this? And I think there's a fantastic opportunity for somebody here to actually build one of these things.
Well, we built one already. We already built one 2 or 3 years ago.
But not here. Where was it?
Yeah, in Pattaya.
Oh, in Pattaya.
Yeah, we built one in Pattaya.
Okay.
Yes.
Where?
On the dark side. We had on the dark side we had one, but we only had it for the purposes of developing the game and developing the system and the scorecard. We had a membership. We had people play it from pro to beginner, under the watchful eye of the pro, the PGA Pro, Gary McKinney.
Excellent.
And now he wants to move up a step, and of course we're going to take this a step further, and he's looking to, in the future, to sort of build a better facility and sort of say to the guys that come here and play in Pattaya, and of course, voted one of the best places in Asia to play golf. That hey,
Joe,
so it's okay to go on an 18-hole golf course and go around and do your par and all that kind of stuff. But we have got a facility here now where you can go and basically train yourselves from 100 yards and end up with a scorecard, end up with a par, and at the end of the day, you can end up on an amateur or professional level and also see where you're going wrong.
Yep, because our game has.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
Well, it has its own handicap system and its own scoring system.
No, absolutely. I see that as a sort of a sub-level. Yeah, absolutely. But the key thing will be to go and practice.
Yeah, this is
and improve those elements of the game that you've just identified a week.
Yeah, it's to complement the game of golf. It's not in competition with
And how long does it take? Because that's another key thing. It doesn't sound like it's a long time.
No, it isn't. Depending on your skill level, you play between 50 minutes and 90 minutes for 9 holes.
You see, that could be very attractive to people, because, I mean, we know here that, at best you're doing 4-hour rounds, and that's probably, with all the Koreans and Japanese and whatever, 4.5, perhaps even to 5 hours. And, of course, you've got to get to the course and back, and that's maybe adding another hour. So you're talking really taking a full day, whereas... if you put floodlights on something like that, I mean, you can have people coming after work. It would be superb.
So we're actually looking for the land to build the new one now. Yeah,
well, I think that should be certainly the concept is very interesting, and I think that's something that should be very popular with not only the expat residents here, but also people coming in on holiday for their golf.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, guys, take a break. Is that okay?
Yeah, no problem.
Take a break, and then we're going to come back to you and we're going to talk about the Blue Monster course.
Back
if that's
to
okay.
Darrell. Perfect.
Okay, stay with us on 105. This is the Golf Show with Dave, Ian, and Darrell in the studio today.
The Pattaya 105 Golf Show. All the latest updates and up-to-the-minute golf news with Dave D and Ian.
Thanks for joining us around the world on the internet and, of course, on FM down here in Pattaya. Ian and Darrell in the studio, but I'm going to go straight over to Ian because he is chomping at the bit to tell us about the Blue Monster.
Yeah, well, Blue Monster Darrell, just bought by Donald Trump, I think, last week. Got a hell of a deal, $150 million. And the previous owners, Morgan Stanley, I think, had invested something over $500 million. So you got to know that Donald Trump's got the eye on the main chance, the eye on the deal.
Chump change to that guy.
We got two Donalds at Darrell. I mean, that's a good one for you. You've got Luke Donald and Donald Trump, and he's apparently going to be there today, so that should be interesting. 74 players in the field, including the world's top 50 players. They're all going to be there at the Blue Monster course.
What's the purse like?
8.5 million.
Wow.
1.4 to the winner.
Nice, so, if you can get your hands on it.
Nice at learner. And apparently the world's top 50 players, they've not all played together in the same tournament since last year's Masters in Augusta. And here's one for you, Darrell, the stats. Only the 5th time in the last 5 years that the top 50 players, it's all the 5s, top 50 players have played together.
Really?
Yeah. That's
and what about the defending champion?
Well, Nick Watney, he's back there.
He's on the way back, is he?
Well, he's back defending his title. And actually, he's playing well. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. But, of course, we got to talk about Tiger again. In his 11 previous career starts at this tournament, which is now known as the WGC Cadillac, I think before it was the Ford, it's had a few names, but in 11 previous career starts, Tiger has won this 6 times, and he's never finished outside the top 10.
Wow.
3 of those 6 wins were here at Darrell. And here's another stat for you. Only 2 players in history have won one event more times than Tiger. And, of course, the first of those is Tiger himself, the Bridgestone, and way back, Sam Snead.
Sam
Snead won the Greater Greensboro Open 8 times.
Well, and they're kicking off in around about
today. 4 hours.
Yeah, so they're kicking off. They're 12 hours behind us, aren't they?
I think it is for Florida.
So roughly kicking off around about 9 o'clock Florida time.
I'm not sure when we get it on TV. It won't be tonight. It'll be sometime tomorrow, unfortunately. But,
what about McIlroy?
Well, he's new world number 1. He's amazing start, actually. Got McIlroy, current number 1. Luke Donald, former number 1. And Lee Westwood, world number 3, all playing together.
Wow.
So that'll be interesting. I mean, talk about a needle match. Tiger's playing. Who's Tiger playing with? He's playing with Nick Watney, the defending champion, and Sergio Garcia. So that'll be a good one. Then you got Martin Keimer, Steve Stricker, and Webb Simpson. Phil Mickelson, Hunter Mahan, and Adam Scott playing. So some interesting opening round pairings.
It sounds as though, you know, being a non-golfer, that sounds like a biggie to me.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Is it what you would say would be...
Well, I thought last week was great, but I'm expecting this week to be better.
You know what Joe would say if he was here? That's one to watch.
I think he would.
Definitely watch it as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you go for that?
All day long, yes.
All day long, and your dollar's down on who, Tiger?
I think Tiger. I think it's the make or break for Tiger. Innit? You know, this'll. I think this after his performance last time.
I'm not sure I agree make or break, but
well, maybe that's a bit extreme.
I think he will be really keen to follow on.
Yeah,
from
it's going to show you which way he's going to go.
Exactly,
from
and if he can deliver here, then it's like watch out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if McIlroy that often goes on to win and cements his position
that'll be
as
the status
number one,
quo.
Then it's all right. Okay.
Yeah, I think
it's
young pretender.
Definitely going to be one to watch.
Pretender, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, right. We're going to take you back to last week, Ian, because and Darrell's in the studio as well. And we asked the guys out there. We asked them a question.
We did.
We asked them the golf question of the week, and what we read out last week was basically what is the longest playoff in PGA history? Okay. What is the longest playoff in PGA Tour history? Would you know that one, Darrell?
I wouldn't know it. I've actually read it at some time before, but
it's
I'm
not an easy
sure.
one.
I
can give you a clue.
Okay.
I'll give you a clue. It's before me and you were born.
Yeah, I would have thought it'd been somewhere around 7 holes. Is what I would.
Well, you'd be on the right direction, but Ian, you know the answer, don't you?
Well, I do. I wrote the question.
There's always
well,
one.
it all came up because there was a nine holes in the playoff in
9
Mexico, and in fact, this is 11 holes.
Wow! So the longest playoff was in 1949. Yeah.
Well, you got the paper. I can't see it.
1949 Motor City Open. Yeah.
That's it.
And it was at the what is it? The Kari Midkoff?
No, Carrie Middlecoff.
Kari Middlecoff.
And who's the other guy?
And the other guy is Lord. Is it Lloyd?
I can't read from there. What are you doing?
I'll give you the paper. You're the golfer.
Oh, Lloyd Mangrum. Yeah, that's right. Carrie Middlecoff.
I knew his name.
Motor City Open, 1949. So I'm presuming that must be Motor City. That's Detroit, isn't it? Motown.
It's got to be.
You should know that.
Detroit.
Motown.
Yeah,
So
Motown,
to ask
Detroit.
a stupid question, then you have to. There is no allowance in golf. It just carries on and on and on until somebody
They call
beats.
it a sudden death.
Yep.
In the old days, pre-TV, what you normally got was a full 18 if they were tied at the end. But of course, with schedules and the players playing, usually one tournament a week, they've all got to go off somewhere. They've got appearances. They've got perhaps the Pro-Am rounds. Their schedule is so booked up for so long in advance, they frankly don't have the time to what would be a Monday round, taken out the whole day. So they devised this system of what they call a sudden death playoff. In other words, it's not the best over a certain amount of holes. It's he who loses first loses, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
And the longest turns out to be 11 holes.
Yeah.
Wow, absolutely great. All right, okay, don't forget, guys, if you're out there and you want to let us know down here at the golf show if you are going anywhere to play or you are doing anything through the week, please get in contact with us down here at www.patio105.com, which is the website, or you can get through on facebook.com/patio105, or simply send one to Ian at patio105.com down and send him an email, and we'll sort of talk to you guys out there. And if anybody who wants to come on the show that's has got a golfing place, they're welcome to come on, aren't they, Ian? I mean, we're also
always
open.
pleased to have people on the show.
Always have anybody. So if you're an avid golfer and you're out there and you're going out with your friends, please get in contact with us and let us know how you did, because we'd like to know the statistics of Patio, won't we?
Got to have those statistics.
And that's what we've been talking about today. Statistics in the short game today has been absolutely brilliant. Okay, Darrell, thanks for joining us down in the studio.
Thanks for having me on. I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
It's been a great pleasure to have you in here. And of course, Ian, I will see you same time, same place next week.
You will.
It is. And of course, we'll have some more golfing news from you guys out there and for you guys out there, okay? But from us down here at the studio, stay with us on 105. More music coming your way. But thanks to the guys in the studio today. Cheers, guys.
Great. Thanks, Dave.
Cheers.